Sit down.
Hello and welcome to the mighty Kavango-East region, right here in the capital, or in their capital city, Rundu. I'm Leslie Shiweda, and we are here for this special edition of the State of the Region address. I'm not alone today. I am joined by Jonathan Swartboy, born, educated, bred, and lives in this mighty Kavango-East region. Good morning.
A very good morning to you.
Good. Most of the residents of this region are saying this weather is not very usual in this region. Is that so?
Oh, no. It's very not common. So we're not really used to this cold out here now.
Well, maybe it's a sign of global warming, or rather global freezing. I don't know what you would want to be able to call it. But as we are kickstarting off the State of the Region address here, let's quickly just give you some of the pictures and sights that you'll be able to expect from this region. Okay, then that is the Kavango-East region. I hope that once you come here, you should please be able to make sure that at least you get yourself a fish or a wood carving, because it's very peculiar for this region to be able to get those. But now, let's turn our focus onto the State of the Region address here. The Governor Wakudumo will be speaking in a short while, but what are you preempting? What would you like to hear from the Governor today?
I would like to hear more on answers to our current education system, where we've seen that there's been a lot of failure rates, especially in high school students, in high school learners. So we're trying to see what does the government has to say about our education system in the Kavango region. Let's talk about the high crime rate that has been going on in the region. We would want to see what strategies that are in place that we're supposed to be put in place for the community of the, for the region of the Kavango. We're talking about, we've been facing so many social issues in the region, like alcohol and drug abuse, teenage pregnancy, the high rates of poverty in the region. So those are the things that we are trying to wait for him to address.
Talking about education, we've got possibly one of the best schools here, St. Boniface, which is also in the region. Has other schools maybe not sort of done an assessment as to how they do things so that they be able to emulate to that?
St. Boniface have been doing very well in terms of education, in terms of in terms of the academic produces. So for the past years, this school has been in the top 10, top 5, top 15. But why aren't all the other schools giving off the same performances as well? So in terms of schools, the region has so many schools where we have a lot of schools, a lot of high schools. They are, let me say, almost sufficient, although we're still facing lack of schools for high school learners. So due to the high population. So the region has so many schools, but then we still have so much lack of productivity in terms of academic performances.
Maybe some benchmarking exercises need to be done by the other schools in the region towards that one school that does so well in the region. Moving on, you also spoke about other social ills like alcohol and crime. How would you want that to be addressed?
In terms of crime rates, we've seen that most of these crime rates that have been going on in the region are actually school learners, school boys that are committing these crimes, such as theft and all the other crimes. So it still points back to education. Do we have enough after-school programs that will keep these students busy in schools so that they can be kept off the street, so that they cannot be able to engage into the wrong activities such as alcohol and drug abuse? Do they have places where they can, safe places where they can go to and socialize, and instead of opting to go to other negative places that they can engage into negative behaviors?
Another aspect as well, if you come into this region with plenty of water, it's a blessed region. The river is just right here behind us. But when it comes to agriculture, there's a lot of green schemes, Sikonto, Mashare, Shadi Kongoro. Are they producing or giving us the yields that this region would want to have in your view?
Oh, we have been blessed with a very good soil in the Kavango region, a very productive soil. And we also have a lot of green schemes that are aimed to promote the production of farmers in the region, to help them with skills and also tools that will equip them so that they can be able to produce food for the region. But we still face a lot of challenges in terms of this production. We've been faced by we've been really unfortunate, and we haven't had sufficient rain. I mean, let's look at the climate. Climate change is real. Global warming is real. So I think those factors are negatively impacting farmers in the region to a point where they are not producing enough, or it's not sufficient in order for them to...
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Last year at this very same juncture, we had a young man by the name of Sifa Fure. He was involved or making sunflower oil, and I don't know how that went, but because of the little rain that we've had in this region, it has also impacted many of the green schemes and many farmers negatively. But having said that, we also went out to the different corners of this region to try and find out what the ordinary person in the villages and on the street are saying. And these were their plights and highlights.
The toilet is nice, but the problem we cannot spoil, but the smell, they can smell. If the wind is walking, the problem for the toilet.
Yene nikadi siwana oyu tusaisi hatendera hairema yetu katuna kumona kasiwana ishingopa yapo kuyenda no karaki kendi na atende pustupa kokutura karome yo flash yange kadi munukereka aye kadi akona iyo ayoe kadi siwana wen ma toilet hapo ni kadi siwana hatenda development wapo ni kadi muwa yo hanana tendi mumango wen ngomu wana kuwa roisera hairema yetu podusha ngene mosuwana ngabitu wetu na kuhungumana mudirapa mukenge kakara pepi no dirapa kunukira we pa kuponda idiam kadi akuyuve kakara suwana yeshi pepi no dirapa diao umango wen cyane ngo kumutara rimwe ade hana itenda ira kuno kwetu ni munana kumone na masinda marakati kuma kwa acha tukatenda matoilet omawa aye suwana vene airema hawana mara munana amono na
inyo yuwane muno mukunda yatene kadimo iruwana kunyanta takunyanta agubanga mikengera yokuhambe naira hanu kaka shure pamwe kadiko yana ona ningisho kakufutere hanu shure kadiko kuwana masiere nyi kadiko iruwana kunyanda veto kunyanda kadiko yuwa muno mukunda wetu
ya pamhovo kutanda sinikapandira tupu kuli komkundo tuno wa Kavango. Kutanda si vene mkundo tunakura mara simbe panakara mpumbwe nka nedi dakupuro hepa mno mkachiketu ka doro peti no arundu kutanda si doro petu no vingi unene mukumona vinavuro kupumbwa moyo ovura kuvura unene era vitaura marucheno na vimwe umeme masimpenga era kumaruhanya madidi ramona kara ku Sun City maruhanya na pirespe kusave ya simpe kuna kara udito unene mpumbo ya mema evitu na horo tuku unene nene twahoro staura mtu tulirepo vene uyende rwa staura tani kumema twahoro vene mema vure kutika ku vantu tana marucheno ngoli vininke vina kara unene mpumbo unene marucheno na hepa hosi muli unene kara na rucheno angasi kwata marucheno kutanda silinali kuliko vene kwata kuyenda vininke na vincheya
ya kuhambe na ngwendiko development twakara nazo ya pira kutuha fesako ngwendi kuvarekera tane varekere ko itaura mo itaura yetu ya rundwe hii sene pakara i pothole ngwendi mostaura kape bayi wape kino usimbu ngende siso zao muzaka zafana ngapi ngwendi komema wale ninge ya development zo mema kuina ko Sun City kapi kwa kanduka pipe za kuninga za kusupply abantu na venye singano kenyo gumu ako kemoni mo pipe zonene nye kwa tura moga pipe ko kanunu kapi vantu kapi kugwane ko bogomema etwa harako elichinjo zo pipe zonene kenye muntu agwane mema yotwa hara tani kuhamena ko spangero tuhara okuina ko spangero kapsi kukare vantu ovanzi
name umwe omutungimo mumukunda uno. What we need here in our villages is the road. The road must come up from here where we are so that we can feel that the government also see us, make us better so that we can feel better. And in other villages, there's no water. There's no good water and clean water. So we need, or we want the government to see us, and so that we can feel that we also a human being like others. Because when we come to election, no one is not good. We are all good in election. So this is my words, that the government must see us like we are equal.
Here there is no road, proper road like. So even when the ambulance come, they used to struggle over the road. We want a proper road here in our village. And the next thing is that, as you can see, this year people, they did not harvest a lot of food in their fields because of elephants. They destroyed everything. So we are fighting. If the government should try something, at least to contribute to people.
The challenges that we are facing here in this village is the road. The road is very worse, which is a sandy road, and it's only 4x4 that comes here. And even if it's not a nice driver, then we're stuck there. That is the worst things we have seen or we are experiencing in this village.
I'm not happy with the road here in Rundu. At least the governor and the councillor should improve for us to build some infrastructures and malls. You know, people here, they are suffering. Unemployment is high. That's why I myself, I want a councillor and the governor to talk. So at least they must improve on the roads and create jobs for the people. That's why you see people here, they are stealing, they are beating one another. The reason being is because unemployment is high.
Region-wise, no one can point out and say, okay, there was a project here in Rundu that was done and they recruited this much of people. Even the part where they are saying the mining side, they remember that there was a time they were making vacancies for people to go. We were even dropping CVs, but from all the people I remember, even 70%, they also are asking, okay, are these people, did they recruit or what happened? That mining is not, especially for the youth, I don't see a number of people that really say, okay, I have a relative that went there. Most of us are like in the cloud, we don't know if our forms were strong. There was a number of times we dropped CVs, there's nothing. So for me, jobs, they need to do better in our region, Kavango-East.
And those are the views of the ordinary people right here in the Kavango-East region, starting off from jobs, roads, employment, electricity distribution, clinic accessibility, and even some residents there saying that some of the villages, especially those that are inland, do not have access to water. What do you make of some of those comments that you've just heard?
Our region has been said to be the one of the fastest developing regions, but population is also it is increasing very much. So rural areas are expanding, and there are no proper roads that are leading to those places. Even with the villages, it was said that you need a 4x4 to reach to many of those places, and not everybody has access to that. So, which negatively impacts people, which makes them have to walk to far places because a car is unable to take them to that place. So the transport systems need to be set in place, most especially for people in rural areas and in the villages.
There was also the issue of roads have been mentioned. Employment is another one. It's a big problem. It's not just a Kavango-East problem. It's a national problem. For you as a young person, how do you think that those in positions of power should be able to address this problem?
Unemployment has been a need, not only for the Kavango regions, but nationwide, especially amongst the youth, as you've said. And we've had a demonstration in Windhoek whereby the young people were trying to seek for the government to hear them out for their crying for employment. So this has been a really need that the government really needs to address, because now most people are venturing into illegal business activities, which is leading to high crime rate. So it's very important that the government needs to tackle this issue in order for the better of the Namibian youth.
It's quite a tall order for the government and even the governor them to be able to want to be able to address. But I think it is going to be almost an atrocity for us to cross over to the governor's speech without having to touch on the Kayova 16, the food poisoning that took place. It was regrettable. It was a sad story, but it is one of those ones where really people that are in need of poverty need assistance from the government.
Yes, that was really an unfortunate season for the Kayova community. So one thing that I also wanted to point out is that the government also needs to link with a non-governmental organizations so that they can be able to assist people that are in need, people that really need financial support. Because one thing is that these people in those areas that are suffering from poverty, they rely on grants from the government, such as the grants the elderly receive. So you would see that in that household, everyone, all the grandchildren and the children are relying on the government grants. So we really need to increase the aid in terms of food aid. We need to increase that so that people can be able to so that this aid can be able to assist those homes, because these people are highly reliable on the government, since agriculture has now taken its turn due to the climate change and
to the
everything.
climate change
Yes,
you've spoken
yes.
about. Still, while we are on that, we have seen that the river is very close to, in close proximity to where the people live. So they tend to have to go there and get their water and so on. We've had stories of people being snatched by crocodiles and been dragged into the river. We've seen stories of whereby hippos and elephants have destroyed crops. What are your views on human-wildlife conflicts in this region?
The reason why those things normally happen here is because the government doesn't set forth proper tools that can help these people attain what they really need to attain when they go to such places like in the wild, in the wild or in the forest or at the river. If someone is trying to fetch water and this water needs to be purified, and people don't have access to any purifying elements that they need. So at the end of the day, it will cause illnesses. And the wildlife organizations or the government responsible for wildlife, I would say they are not really doing their job.
Why is that? What would you like to see them do more?
There has been so much lack of productivity, especially in government offices. You'd find that people are just sitting in the offices. They are not doing anything. They are not doing their work. So there really need to be people in place that can be able to supervise these activities and ensure that people are not just seated in their offices. They are doing their work that they are supposed to be doing, so that people don't have to go through all these dangers that we are currently facing in the region.
Okay, good. Jonathan, thank you so much. And those are the views from us here at the table. But the governor himself is ready to deliver his State of the Region address. So let's quickly cross over and hear what Governor Bonifacius Wagudumo has to say.
Sit down.
Honorable Damian Maamba, Chairperson of Kavango-East Regional Council, His Worship Gabriel Kanyanga, Mayor of Rundu Town, Honorable Christoph Kupembona, Chairperson of the Vundu Village Council, Regional and Local Authority Councillors, Fumu Erven Mumbambu Munika of the Ambukushu Community, Hompa Sofia Munjembwe, Wakanyetu of Sambu Community, all distinguished traditional leaders, Mrs. Lutgela Nangura, CRO Kavango-East Regional Council, Comrade Mushinga Otilia Sinduvi, Swapo Party Regional Coordinator, all heads of other political parties present, Regional Commander Namibian Police, the Commanding Officer Namibia Defense Force, Commissioner Namibian Correctional Services, heads of line ministries, state-owned enterprises and agencies, private sector representatives, non-governmental organizations, faith-based leaders, residents of Kavango-East region, member of the media, ladies and gentlemen, and a very good morning to you. We come before this assembly to share with the Kavango-East region's inhabitants a story of good progress on the work we have done, challenges we have faced, and what we are doing in the priority areas of our region. In these priorities, our focus is on creating inclusive economic opportunities, provision of quality health care and education, provision of basic services such as water, roads, electricity, and building safer communities. Despite the hardship we experienced during the year 2022, we had also wonder that brought great joy in our hearts because they were an affirmation that our effort of building was on track. Among the key highlights of 2022 was our region's 37.5% share in the certificate ordinary level examination, attaining #1 position. This is a 14.9 from the class of 2020, while at mathematics and English. With our sustained investment in education, it gives us confidence to be This is a story of progress. On the sporting front, the Kavango-East Regional Soccer team was a runner-up during the annual Cup competition for 2022. Players were selected to participate in the under-20 soccer national team trials thereof. Gender-based violence and criminal activities in all shapes and forms inflicted a vicious assault on our democracy, leaving our people without a sense of feeling safe and secure of their home and communities. Concurrently, human-wildlife conflict inflicted a pain and causes fear among our rural communities as we experience loss of life, mainly from crocodile attacks. Food poisoning has become one of our scariest sporadic concerns in the region, in which mainly lives are sadly getting lost as a result. We have recently witnessed the Kiowa 16 epic, which shocked the world nation. Every Namibian life is valuable, therefore, our deepest sympathy and empathy goes to the bereaved family and friends. I would like to invite all of us to have a moment of silence, if we can just rise up. May their precious soul rest in eternal peace. Attention. Thank you. We may be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the regional leadership, I would like to express my sincere appreciation to the Office of the Prime Minister, Ministry of Environment, Forestry and Tourism, other ministries and various sectors for extending a helping hand during difficult times. We are also deeply distressed by both overt and covert tribal insentiments, which continues to permit our communities in Kavango-East region. We condemn it in all the strongest terms. We call upon those that are inciting tribalism to stop henceforth. As such, practices are against the very tenets of our founding principles as a nation. Fellow regional residents, we are committed to His Excellency Declaration that 2023 is the year of revival. Therefore, I would like to invite all inhabitants of the Kavango-East to consider reviving our culture, tradition of hard work and honesty, tradition working as a unified force, and generosity. This address outlines an honest account of the work we did to fulfill commitment made in the last State of Region address. We will also outline the framework of the decisive actions we will take to accelerate progress, including in areas where performance was not at desired levels. This is our contract with the people of Kavango-East region. As a SWAPO party-led government, we remain committed to this contract. On education, the Directorate of Education invested $1,762,877 Namibian dollars 81 cents in the construction of a new administrative office block at Kambimba Circuit, 2 classroom block and storeroom at Dithimba Primary School, installation of sewerage pump station at Kehemu Combined School, and ablution block at Sikanduko Combined School. On the same budget, we also managed to carry out electrical connection and renovation at Kehemu Combined School and Cheye Primary School, respectively. an additional amount of 905,765 Namibian dollars, 65 cents was spent in renovating Sinyungwe Combined School, construction of iron cage roof for a sewer pump station at Kehemu Senior Primary, and electrical installation at Rebecca Kambundu Primary School. We have also overhauled cooking pots, procured and delivered frying pans and stove at Max Makushe Secondary School at a cost of 314,560 Namibian dollars 10 cents. Supply and installation of pump station at Max Makushe Secondary School were also completed. Progress has been recorded in the construction of classrooms, blocks and storerooms at new secondary school known as the Rundu Project Secondary School, Siguruguru and Sikanduko Primary School, the construction of hostels, blocks at Livai Combined School, and ablution blocks at Mohopi Primary School were also completed at the cost of 1,800,076,042 Namibian dollars 77 cents and 547,700 Namibian dollars and respectively. Maintenance work were also carried out at the following: Rundu Senior Secondary School Hostel, Martin Dumba Hostel, Divundu Combined School, Max Makuse Senior Secondary School, Matumbo Ribebe Senior Secondary School, Maria Mwengere Senior Secondary School, and Diona Combined School at a cost of 603,037 Namibian dollar 55 cents. The government prioritized early child development as a key to future development of the country. This evidence in the construction of Early Child Development Center at Shamahongo Village in Mukwe constituency, which has been completed end of June 2023. This project created a total of 9 temporary employment, which 3 were women and 5 were men. Diva Mehozoge Early Child Development Center in Rundu Urban is at 95% completion rate. As part of our corporate social investment, the Kavango-East region procured material to construct a soup kitchen valued at 480,301 Namibian dollars 51 cents. In Rundu Urban constituency, electrification contract costing 89,506 Namibian dollars 50 cents for Mausivi Kindergarten was awarded, while the electrification of Ngushe Primary School was completed at a cost of 96,545 Namibian dollars 39 cents. Both projects are in the Mashare constituency. On health, Honorable Chairperson, our turnaround plan on health is also succeeding. COVID-19 is no longer viewed as a pandemic, and we have moved in the last year to adapt our daily lives to living with COVID-19 pandemic in our communities. As a result, our health care program targeted at children, women, and men are being scaled up. Government investment on childhood health program have led to reduce in under 5 years mortality rate, reduction in death due to diarrhea, pneumonia, and severe acute malnutrition. Government's intervention in infrastructure is paying dividend, and this is evident in the completion of the Shamaturu Clinic and staff accommodation at a cost of 10,670,114.86 cents. In ensuring safe storage of medication, the replacement of air conditioners in clinics of the 3 district hospitals, Rundu, Nyangana, and Andara, was completed at the cost of 208,823.84 cents. With the assistance of Global Fund, we completed the renovation of health training centers boardroom and furnishing thereof to the tune of 1,624,476 Namibian dollar. Moreover, the Rundu Intermediate Hospital received donation of an oxygen generating plant from Global Fund, valued at $6,500,000. The following medical equipment were also received during the period under review: CTG machines, ECG machine, 14 suction machine, 13 baby incubators, 26 oxygen concentrators, 16 CPAP machine ventilators, paging machines, sonar machines, and 24 patient monitors. Honorable Chairperson, we remain cautiously optimistic that the effort of encouraging include various cadres appointments, which are as follows: Chief Medical Officer for Kavango-East Health Directorate, Senior Medical Officer for Rundu District, 4 medical officers, of whom 3 are for Rundu District clinics and 1 appointed for Divundu Clinic in Andara District. There were also appointment of environmental health practitioner, social workers, nurses, and other cadres. Rundu Intermediate Hospital also commenced with training of 38 medical interns, student doctors in September 2022. On agriculture, honorable members, agriculture is a sector where we have comparative advantage. We want to increase the contribution to the sector to the GDP and create employment opportunities for our people, especially the youth. The future looks even brighter for the agricultural sector in our region. The reason we say that is because Blueberry Namibia Pty Limited has injected an investment of 1.5 billion to promote urban agriculture and create much needed employment at Divundu Village Council. Our farmer support program relating to production and inputs continued in 2022 and has benefited and combined 1,504 farmers with agricultural services, 1,356 plowing services, 46 fertilizers, 67 horticulture producers, and 35 poultry growers to the tune of $1,329,607 Namibian dollars and 49 cents. In preparation of the upcoming cropping season, 2023-2024, the region, through the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Namibia Mechanization and Seed Improvement Program, NAMSEP, has allocated 29 tractors of varying power. To date, 22 tractors of these tractors has arrived in Kavango-East region. These tractors are accompanied by matching implements to render all the services as stipulated under the dryland crop production program. In addition, the region through NAMSEP have also received implements to assist farmers with different services for cultivating their fields, inclusive horticulture farmers. These implements include the following: 273 hand-operated cultivators for weeding, 325 hand-operated seedling transplanter, vegetable drillers, diesel chipper hammer mills for cattle feed, 225 knapsack sprayers, 1 animal weighing scaler, 343 jab seed drillers, 400 vegetable seed drillers, and 29 working tractors. Furthermore, 475 to 8V, 25 60 to 70 kg tractors with matching implements and further equipments were and consistent no major disease outbreak was recorded in Kavango-East region that could have threatened the marketing of livestock. However, the direct 879% cattle were vaccinated against foot and mouth disease, while 78,090 vaccinated against 712 47% dogs and cats were vaccinated. This requires extensive awareness and campaigns to sensitize our people on the importance of rabies vaccination. On water supply, sanitation, and water system in the region. We have managed to drill a total of 25 boreholes with a total of 10,584 beneficiaries in our mighty Kavango at 62,100 billion dollars. Additional 14 holes across our 6 constituencies were installed with a tune of $5,989,397 Namibian dollars and 70 cents. Moreover, our Directorate of Rural Water Supply in the region installed pipeline at Ngandana of the Rundu Rural Constituency and Rupesho at Taratara in Mashare Constituency, covering 420 and 374 beneficiaries respectively. Installation of pipeline at Sikanduko at the cost of 449,740 Namibian dollars 8 cents was completed and handed to the community. Solar systems were delivered at Omega, 1 borehole, at an amount of 43,526 Namibian dollars 76 cents. The replacement of the existing water abstraction system and purification plant, which has reached its lifespan, were completed. The project includes installation of pipeline, power supply, and reservoir. To ensure inclusive rural services, the construction of toilets for 570 Namibian dollars for similar 6 projects, 1 per each constituency, awarded to a combined amount of 901,000 Namibian dollars. Communal land right is one area of our regional government focus. To promote land tenure, 12 leasehold certificates and 1 occupational land right were issued during the period under review. Regional government development of communal land for agricultural purposes. As a result, drilling of 9 out of 29 boreholes in the Rikus development, a major threat to